Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to Joy Newsroom. I'm Noella Karen Iyali, live from our studios here in Kokomlimli, Accra. We're on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125 and around the world at myjoyonline.com. Coming up, government strongly condemns attack on Ghanaian peacekeepers serving in Lebanon as the Middle East conflict escalates and urges thorough investigations into the incident. Also, Savannah Regional Security Council holds a meeting over recent attacks in Binyiri targeting members of the Fulani community, which has left 3 Fulani people dead. We have the latest. And also in this bulletin, we'll tell you more about a Ghanaian who has pled guilty to some romance scam in the United States. We have details of that and more right here on Joy News. Let's settle with our first top story. And the Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwatiofosu, has condemned the recent attack on Ghanaian peacekeepers serving under the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, UNIFIL. Now, he described the incident as unacceptable and a breach of international law, while stressing that dialogue remains the best way to resolve the broader conflict in the Middle East. Now, speaking on Newsfile on Joy News, the minister said the government has formally lodged a complaint with the United Nations and is demanding a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the attack.
It is a condemnable action, totally unacceptable. It violates all norms of reason and international law. No country is allowed to behave with such impunity and set about attacking non-combatants, people who have not shown any aggression, who are in fact there to keep the peace. And they've done this for decades. And it is very well known. It is an internationally recognized activity that they are engaging in. The activities do not pose any threats whatsoever to anybody within the region to warrant such an attack. And therefore, as the country whose troops have been at the receiving end of this attack, we need to take it very seriously. That's why we've lodged this formal complaint. We expect that the United Nations will take it seriously and carry out thorough investigations to ascertain the causes of this and demand consequential action from whoever is responsible for this sort of attack.
Now, let's explore the story further, and I'm joined on Zoom by Muntaru Mumuni Mukhtar, who is the Executive Director for West Africa Center for Counter-Extremism, to discuss government's response to the attack on Ghanaian peacekeepers. You're welcome, sir. How significant is this attack on Ghanaian peacekeepers serving with the United Nations in Lebanon?
Well, it's unfortunate that our men who are on peacekeeping duty, have come under attack in this conflict. It's an unfortunate situation, and at this point, we want to sympathize with these individuals and the families. But most importantly, how we respond to this is what matters. How we move from this point is the most important thing. Peacekeepers are protected, under international humanitarian law. And they are not meant to be direct targets. They are not party to conflict. They are not a belligerent force. And so they are expected or supposed to be protected under the rule statutes, under, just like civilians in conflict situations that, require same protection. And so for our men to come and attack as peacekeepers, it's very unfortunate. And I see the swift response of the Ghanaian government in terms of responding to this situation and calling for, immediate investigations into it, asking the UN General Assembly, the UN Secretary General to constitute investigations into this as quickly as possible and ensure that remedial action is taken to prevent recurrence of this situation. In fact, this is a very, very serious matter, in the sense that peacekeepers are protected under humanitarian, international humanitarian law, and they are classified If they are directly and intentionally targeted, they are classified as, war crimes, Rome Statutes under Article 8, Clause 2 of the Rome Statutes. And so it's a very serious matter that we need to take seriously, because Ghana is not party to this conflict at this point. And it's important that we take that serious, especially in terms of the outcome of the investigations, what we'll do from there.
And Muntari, I hear you, and I'm also very sure that you know that Ghana has issued a statement through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. How would you personally assess government's posture so far, especially its decision to formally lodge a complaint with the United Nations?
I think it's clear at this point there has been some significant consistency of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in reacting or responding to situations like this in terms of our relations or happenings within the international space. And in the same way, we have seen the kind of response that we have seen is consistent with that, and I think that is swift enough. It's responsive, and I hope that we would get the kind of response that we desire in terms of the investigations into it. I've listened to the information minister, the communications minister, the government spokesperson on this matter, and it's in line with what the Minister for Foreign Affairs has been asking for, and I think that the response so far, it's adequate at this point, because we're looking to see what response we get from it.
Per reactions on social media that I have personally monitored, a lot of people seem to believe that government response was a bit too diplomatic. What do you have to say to that as well?
I've seen that, and I've seen those comments, and many have referenced the Minister of Defense's, statement regarding this matter. And some were expecting that it would be a much stronger statement. But if you consider the sensitivity or sensitive nature of this conflict, it's important that you get all the information you need to be able to communicate in the manner that people are asking or expecting that communication. And specifically, many were expecting that the government would specifically pull out the Israeli government, because many believe that they were deliberately targeted by the Israeli government. If you're in a position at this level to communicate on a matter like that, you need full information. You need very verifiable information to ensure that you do not do damage control, kind of situation when you do not get the facts right before communicating. And so they are right to ask, ask the government to be very strong in terms of response to this matter, because it's a very serious situation. But I also appreciate the situation the ministry is in. You need full information. You need to confirm everything before you can actually, be that strong in your language. And I think that moving forward, beginning to see full details of what must have happened, and hopefully we would see whether it was deliberately targeted or it was an accidental, fire that led to these victims.
And indeed, this is a sensitive situation. But educators, in situations like this, what responsibility would you say the United Nations have in investigating and responding to incidents like this?
It's a mission, and it's a mission that was authorized by the United Nations. And the United Nations Security Council has a full responsibility to ensure that people who are deployed under that mission are fully protected and fully secured. And so to the extent that you have breaches like this, it falls clearly under the responsibility of the United Nations to ensure remedial action. And that begins with investigations to establish the motive or the circumstances surrounding this situation. And so Ghana has every right to ensure that we respond quickly, calling on the UN to investigate and ensure that remedial action is taken. This is a mission under full, United Nations control, and for that they are ambit to ensure that they adequately deal with it. But as you see, it appears the United Nations international, organization is overwhelmed by this insecurity that we're dealing with at the moment. So our government needs to be proactive, needs to be decisive, needs to be consistent in ensuring that they get what they deserve in terms of, immediate action on this.
And on the heels of the proactiveness you are suggesting that our government, picks up or something, obviously the tensions in the Middle East is escalating. How vulnerable would you say our peacekeepers currently deployed in that region are?
Very, very vulnerable. Very vulnerable to the extent that, as you see in the last 1 week, we have seen situations of wanton, human rights violations. And it appears that, and within these areas, everyone is in the siege. And so it's important that we consider the reality of violations of fundamental human rights, and that if a group of people or individuals could come under attack, could be victimized, there would be, small likelihood you would get the kind of justice that you would, deserve the immediate term. And so it's important that, and I think that I would recommend the military has to look at evacuation measures to ensure that we evacuate our men who are found within this jurisdiction, to ensure that they do not become victims of, this attack. And it's very, very likely that if we do not, take action, we might get more victims of this situation.
But, beyond this, you have suggested that we evacuate our peacekeepers. But beyond this, what practical measures can Ghana and the UN also take to better protect peacekeepers and prevent similar attacks in the future?
We need to restate the mandate, the responsibility to protect individuals or protect the safety of our men on peacekeeping. We need to ensure that they adequately put in measures to ensure the safety of our men on duty. It requires that we pull out our men, we evacuate them, we do so. And we need to continue to put pressure diplomatically on all actors, on all parties to the conflict, more especially de-escalation of the conflict, because that is the better, interest of everyone, to ensure that, the conflict does not expand on a scale that makes everyone, perilous in terms of safety.
Right. Thank you so much, Muntari Mukhtar. Muntari Mukhtar is the executive director for West Africa Center, or the Center for West Africa Counter-Extremism. And we've got some latest news on the tensions that is escalating in the Middle East. Now, we know that a drone strike has reportedly occurred near Dubai International Airport, with the BBC verifying video footage of the attack. We know that authorities are still assessing the situation, and there's confusion over the status of flight in and out of the airport. And in Tehran, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian has issued an apology to neighboring states, stating in a video broadcast on state media that Iran will not attack any country unless attacked first. However, shortly after that address, Qatar reported that it had intercepted a missile attack. Meanwhile, we know that Israel says it has launched a new broad wave of strikes targeting Iranian infrastructure. And tensions are also rising in Lebanon, where large-scale evacuations have been carried out in southern Beirut suburbs. And also Israeli forces say these areas have been targeted in ongoing strikes against Hezbollah positions. Let's come home to Ghana now. And students and staff of Accra Newtown Experimental 1 JHS in Accra are raising concerns over the lack of essential learning facilities. According to them, teachers are often compelled to rely on their mobile phone to demonstrate practical lessons to a class of over 40 pupils. They say the situation continues to hinder effective teaching and learning. There's more on the report filed by Deborah Inimwa Bedu.
As they marked the 69th Independence Day celebration, it was all smiles for pupils of Accra Newtown Experimental 1 JHS. This brief moment of joy takes them away from the challenges they grapple every day when it comes to teaching and learning. Chief among these constraints is the absence of an ICT laboratory and teaching materials to enable them sharpen their knowledge in modern computing programs. Even though they emerged the winners on which school marched best during this year's Independence Day celebration, this does not take their minds off the daunting challenges facing them. Bridget Edinam is a teacher with the Accra Newtown Experimental 1 JHS.
It has affected us. I teach computing in the school. Sometimes when we have to have practicals, I'll have to project and they'll have to close all the windows. You can imagine the heat over there. And we don't have enough desks. They see 3, 3, 4, 4, and the heat, they are unable to concentrate, and a whole lot.
Students also expressed frustration over the lack of adequate furniture. They added that metallic windows of the classrooms trap heat and make the learning environment uncomfortable.
Desks in our class is not enough. Sometimes we have been crowded together. We sit 4 bar in the desks. We have to sit in 2s. But because of we are not having much infrastructure, we are sitting in 4s. So we need much desks so that all of us can feel free in the classroom.
So sometimes the class is very hot because it doesn't allow much air to come into the classroom.
Also present at the event was the Municipal Chief Executive for Ayawaso Central, Rudolph Collingwood Williams, who revealed that plans are underway to secure libraries and laboratories to improve learning conditions for students.
We have some libraries within the municipality that we want to refurbish. And also there are IT labs, which, like I'm saying, all boils down to funding. So as the funding is coming in, we'll also try and apportion them to make sure that at least the schools within the municipality are able to be well resourced in terms of technology and in terms of the library aspect as well. So it's something that each and every now and then we keep trying to upgrade, or we keep trying to seek for sponsorship to make sure that our students, in terms of technology, they are there. In terms of the reading aspect too, they are there with our basic books that they need.
As part of efforts to improve education in the municipality, authorities are appealing to government and other stakeholders to support the provision of critical infrastructure for schools. For JoyNews, Deborah Enimwa Beidu's report, read to you.
Away from that, the Savannah Regional Security Council, led by the Savannah Regional Minister, is currently holding a meeting at the Sola District Assembly over the recent attacks in Bingiri targeted members of the Fulani community. The violence, which began on Thursday, March 5, 2026, had left 3 Fulani people dead, while 4 others are receiving treatment at the Sola District Hospital. Security personnel have since been deployed to Bingiri and surrounding communities to protect lives and property as many Fulani women and children flee the area in search of safety. Adum News' Rebecca Nyangtoma joins us on the line with the latest from Sola. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us. Has the meeting taken place and what was the outcome?
The meeting has taken place for 2 hours now in Sola District Assembly with the Savannah Regional Minister leading the Regional Security Council. But as we speak now, after the meeting, the Savannah Regional Minister and his team has moved to Jendabo to meet the paramount chief of Kon traditional area, Konra Jimkroge Tedua. So as we speak now, the minister is having some short meetings with the paramount chief because 2 days now at his traditional area at Poro, there was similar incident and some 2 young men were arrested. So the minister is just hearing a briefing from the paramount chief of Kon traditional area, Konra Jimkroge the first. But the security in Savannah region, being immigration officials, the police, the military, they have been deployed to Bingiri to protect life and property due to the attack on Fulani, full base around the area. So there is a high security delegation in Ghanaian that are protecting life and property in the area. Like we in the district, the security and some health workers have recorded another issue from the Ghanaian area. So for now, we have 4 injured persons, including a 6-year-old boy who was also attacked by some gang news. So he's currently receiving treatment at the Solar Government Hospital. So from Jindabo, the Savannah Regional Minister, Salisu Diarabe, will be moving to Ghanaian where the regional security team to also assess the area and to see what is happening. Because from Thursday, people have been fleeing from the community. Some health workers who have been at the sick compound and teachers that have been posted in those areas have also started fleeing because they don't know who will be next to be attacked.
And Rebecca, comparing Thursday to today, what would you say the tension levels are like right now?
Okay, for now, the tension has been calmed down compared to Thursday and Friday being yesterday. The issue has been calmed down. But as to when it will rise, nobody knows because Benin is just close to the Black Volta and sharing boundaries with La Côte d'Ivoire. So that is why the security is now tight there. We've been told that the Brave Force are now attacking any Fulani persons they meet on the way. And that is why there was high tension. But because the Savannah Regional Minister, Salisu Diarabe, has deployed more policemen to the area, that is why the tension has now calmed down. And there are fire service personnel that are also on standby so that there won't be any fire outbreaks in those areas. So the situation has now been down. There are no more new cases that have been recorded as of today. But other meetings are going on with the help of the Savannah Regional Minister and the paramount chiefs of Kone traditional area and Valor traditional area.
Rebecca, thank you so much for an excellent job done. Rebecca Nantoma is our Savannah regional correspondent there. Let's do some more independent-related stories. And parents, community leaders, and other stakeholders are being urged to play more active roles in guiding the younger generation to help ensure a responsible and disciplined future for Ghana. The call follows recent report of violence involving some senior high school student in the central region. And speaking at the Ghana's Independence Day parade in Bronyibima, I beg your pardon, language teacher and guest speaker Caroline Kwampa stressed that the country needs innovative and responsible young people who are ready to contribute meaningfully to national development.
As Ghanaians marked the country's 69th Independence Day, schools in Elmina joined the celebration with a colorful parade and vibrant displays of culture and talent. Speaking at the event, the headmistress of the Bronyibima MA Basic School, Edna Fidelia Tamaklo, advised the pupils to remain dedicated to their studies and show respect to their teachers and peers, noting that such values are essential in shaping Ghana's future.
We would like to express our sincere appreciation to the KEA Municipal Education Directorate for their continuous guidance, supervision and support to schools within the municipality. Your commitment to improving education and encouraging initiatives such as this celebration greatly inspires both teachers and learners to strive for excellence. To our dear pupils, as you march, recite poems and sing patriotic songs and participate in the activities, remember that you are the future leaders of Ghana. Your dedication to your studies, respect for teachers, and cooperation with all other will determine the kind of nation we build tomorrow.
The guest speaker and language teacher at the Mori Community Senior High School, Caroline Kwampa, also urged parents, community leaders and other stakeholders to play an active role in guiding the younger generation to ensure a responsible future for the country.
Ghana needs young people who are honest, responsible, innovative, and committed to making a difference. Our independence also reminds us of the importance of unity in diversity. Ghana is blessed with many ethnic groups. When we respect these groups, we will be blessed and our culture will progress. As educators, parents, and community leaders, it is our responsibility to guide the young generation so that when they grow, they will be responsible. They will contribute positively to the progress of Ghana. My dear students, I encourage you to study hard, respect your teachers, honor your parents, and believe in your dreams. You are the future teachers, you are the future doctors, the engineers, the contractors, the market women and men, and so many. Let us therefore celebrate this Independence Day not only with joy, but with a renewed commitment to build prosperity and restore hope in our nation.
From Elmina Broibima, Abigail Lissel and Chroma reports for JoyNews.
Away from that, the Nadoli-Kaleo district marked Ghana's 69th Independence Day on Friday with a striking departure from tradition, abandoning the standard school march past in favor of a vibrant cultural exhibition and a large-scale academic award ceremony. Addressing the gathering, the Nadoli-Kaleo Member of Parliament expressed concern about the declining standards of education in the district. He tasked the district school improvement support officers to work towards reversing the trend, warning that they would be held accountable if the situation fails to improve. JoyNews' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Nadoli.
Held under the theme Building Prosperity, Restoring Hope, the event's focal point was the highly anticipated finals of the district's first ever Member of Parliament quiz and essay competition, an initiative designed to combat falling standards of education at the basic level in the district. The Gen Secured emerged as the undisputed champions of the team quiz, taking first place with 42 points. The Kaleo Secured secured the second position with 35 points, while the Tepo Secured placed third with 33 points. The individual star of the celebration was Yahya K.M. Ramadan from Loho RC Junior High School, who completed a historic sweep by winning both the overall best essay competitor and the overall best quiz competitor trophies. The main sponsor of the competition, an MP for Nadoli-Kaleo, Anton Mankarasuma, was presenting the top 3 essay winners with core textbooks in English, mathematics, and science. Also awarded a personal cash prize of 300 Ghana cedis each to each student. He announced a new support scheme for the top 10 JHS competitors transitioning to senior high school and revealed the district will sponsor framework examinations for final year students. He, however, issued this stern warning to educational supervisors in the district.
The outcome, the BECE, the results, we are trailing in the entire region, and that cannot be us. And that cannot be us. So today, and for those of you who have been following me in the past month, my focus has been on education. Because look, I can assure you that we are investing in education. Anybody who wants to challenge me, I can confidently tell you that we are getting over 20 school blocks in this district alone within 1.5 years. What will the school blocks do if we don't utilize them? If we don't go to school, if we don't stay, if we don't learn? I can assure you that in just probably a month or two, we will take delivery of about 3,000 monodecks for the schools to deal with the furniture problem. How will that help if we don't stay in the schools, if we don't learn? I'm so worried about it. And I'm calling on anybody who has a role to play, especially the parents. Let's turn the tide. We cannot be the last in the region as a district regarding BEC. So I'm charging understand you are no more called supervisors. You are now CISOs. I know what your challenge is. I will address that challenge. I'll make sure that you are resourced to do the supervision you are supposed to do. And then I'll hold you responsible when the results are out.
The Noduli-Keleo legislature, often referred to as the Noduli-Keleo Kwame Nkrumah, highlighted the shift from march parade by students to showcasing the culture of the people.
We opted to do an exhibition, and as you can see, a cultural exhibition to show forth our artwork, our culture, our food, our wares, and several others. The students have come, they have participated, but we think that we shouldn't do the routine march pass. We should use this to promote our culture. So that's the path we have chosen. That's the reason why you have not seen them march, though you can see them beautiful dressed, prepared for the parade.
Noduli-Keleo District Chief Executive Mayor Haruna also issued a strong warning against illegal mining and the smuggling of harmful substances through blind border corridors, which she said are polluting water sources and jeopardizing the district's future.
These activities are wreaking havoc on our environment, polluting our water sources, draining our farmland, and jeopardizing the future of our children. We cannot talk about prosperity while our natural resources are being ravaged. We cannot hope to restore hope if lawlessness continues to threaten our security and well-being.
The celebration strongly promoted local economic empowerment, replacing the traditional parade. The event grounds came alive with spirited Bawa dance performances and thought-provoking poetry recitals by students from various schools. The cultural showcase was further energized by a stunning performance from an upcoming local musician known as No Time, beautiful bridging the district's rich heritage with its vibrant youth culture. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Nadoli.
Now, the founder of Little Angels Trust, Dame Lavinia Enim, has called for intensified public awareness on the importance of regular medical checkups to help prevent the late diagnosis of health conditions. Now, during a visit to the Cape Coast Metropolitan Hospital on Ghana's Independence Day, Dame Enim noted that health conditions such as cancer can be effectively treated when detected early. She therefore encouraged the public to prioritize routine medical screenings and seek timely medical attention to safeguard their health and overall well-being.
Little Angels Trust celebrated Ghana's 69th Independence Day by providing support to new mothers, pregnant women and children at the Cape Coast Metropolitan Hospital. Acknowledging the gesture, the acting medical superintendent of the hospital, Dr. Vincent Kudo, assured community members not to hesitate in seeking healthcare services at the facility.
This is the second time this year they've come to visit us. They are interested in supporting children generally. They have donated in January to the children's ward, and today they have decided to come and donate to the children's ward again. This is to alleviate some of the problems some of the mothers face in terms of financial strain, and also create some joy for the children. I know they have other plans that they have shared with me, which is being planned for the future. But today really marks a wonderful occasion. I myself was wonderfully surprised by their visits because of the short duration in which they have revisited us. And I'm very grateful to them for that matter.
The founder and chair of trustees of Little Angels Trust, Dame Lavinia Enim, emphasized that the organization's mission is to promote a healthy legacy for the country by supporting sick children and mothers.
So what better than to come here? For the hospitals, we love this place, so to come here and bless these children and make sure that we can help, we can support, we can campaign on their behalf to stay healthy, live well, become doctors, managers, prime ministers, presidents, nurses, matrons, to help the nation of Ghana. That is what freedom is, and that is what we believe in. And the legacy or inheritance we need to pass on to the future.
She also called for increased public awareness on the importance of regular medical checkups to help prevent late diagnosis of health conditions.
Late diagnosis is our enemy. So the more awareness we create, the more people can come out and go for help. The more you shout, you definitely get someone like us or some organization or a philanthropist who may want to support. We don't need to have children who are dying needlessly just because they need help. There is help. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't go through the right channels, or the right people don't hear about us or about the illnesses. And that is one of our biggest challenges.
Adding a unique touch to the celebrations, babies born at the hospital on March 6, 2026 were affectionately named Kofi Ghana and Ifwa Ghana in tribute to Ghana's Independence Day. From Cape Coast, Abigail Lesol-Nkoma reports for JoyNews.
Now, residents of Dome in Accra have benefited from a free health screening exercise organized through a partnership between the Great Faith Missionary Church and the Department of Public Health at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The outreach program aimed to raise awareness about the importance of preventive health care and the early detection of conditions such as hypertension and diabetes. There's more on this report.
Aims to provide basic medical checks while raising awareness about preventive health care within the community. General Overseer of the Great Faith Missionary Church, Dr. Reverend Nelson Mandela, says the outreach forms part of the church's commitment to supporting the well-being of people beyond spiritual guidance.
First of all, we want people to be aware of any medical conditions that they may have, which they have not been aware of. I know that many people find it difficult going to the hospital to say that they want a checkup. However, checkups are necessary in order to make us healthy. And so the main objective is to draw awareness to the individuals who will be coming here to become very aware of any medical conditions that they may have that they are not aware of. Then they will be made aware of, and then after that they can have a follow-up checkup for it to be resolved. And so that is the first one. And then the second one is also that we will have an opportunity to share the love of Christ and the gospel with the people.
Health professionals from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital screened residents for conditions including high blood pressure, diabetes, and other common health concerns. Chief Nursing Officer at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Eunice Jassa, says early detection and education are key to preventing many health complications.
Healthy people, healthy nation. So together, we want to improve our health status. So all Ghanaians, including Dome people, we need to be checking frequently. Check your BP, check your weight, check your sugar. Now the non-communicable, like we are saying, hypertensive, diabetes, they are increasing. So we need to check. When you check, you know how to live your life, and then we live and live longer. Yes, so every member of Dome, Ghana as a whole, we need to be checking regularly to know our health status.
Organizers say the exercise forms part of ongoing effort to bring healthcare services closer to communities and encourage regular health checks. Ramat Bashiru for JoyNews.
Fearlessness is not the absence of doubt, but the courage to choose yourself and keep moving despite the rejection. Now, that is the message from Nigerian actress and activist Kate Henshaw, who's urging women to embrace their voices and pursue their purpose with confidence. According to her, choosing to be fearless means choosing your own journey, embracing both the success and the failures, and pressing on despite negativity. Kate Henshaw made these remarks in an interview with my colleague Lois Shola Adeyemi ahead of the 4th edition of Women of Valor, which takes place today in London under the theme, The Pursuit of Fearlessness.
Choosing to be fearless means choosing myself, choosing my journey, choosing my failures, choosing to go on in spite of the yap, the noise, the rejection, the negativity, because I'm a celebrity and I'm out there, so people will always want to throw stones, but I use those stones and I build myself a master. And I say my journey is my own. I'm walking my path, and I see no one. I just connect to God and I keep moving. If I fall, I'll dust myself up and I keep moving. That to me is the pursuit of fearlessness. We wake up not knowing what lies ahead, but we choose to step out. That is fearlessness. Yes.
Now, tomorrow we're spreading the story of fearlessness. There are young women out there, both in Nigeria, Ghana, everywhere in Africa, are striving for them in the world. What are you telling them, especially those who may not be here as well?
Your voice is powerful. You, with your voice, you are enough. And you can make an impact. Just you. One life at a time.
What are we expecting tomorrow when you step on the stage?
Easy conversation. I want to be able to, I hope that when I speak, it will relate to someone. And I want to believe that not everyone will leave the same way they came. Some people, one person at least will catch something from it and choose to be fearless.
Now let's look into the camera and remind people why they have to be there tomorrow.
It's the Women of Valor 2026 in London. Powerful women who are looking to connect, to share their stories. We learn from each other, we build, we inspire each other, and we lean on each other. There's nothing wrong with leaning on each other. That's what's happening tomorrow. If you're not there, well, I don't know what to say.
You're missing out.
You've missed already.
Now Ghana is 69. Oh yeah, you know that we are brothers and sisters in the Lord. So what are you telling your fellow Ghanaians out there? I heard you say you could do some Ghanaian singing.
I love Ghanaian music.
Okay.
They do me love more.
All right.
This one no be no more.
Okay. Okay. You they do me love more. Okay. So what are we telling the people out there in Ghana?
I'm telling Ghanaians, keep it up with the music. I love the sound. I love the sound so much.
Yes. It's an honor speaking to you, and happy 69th birthday.
Happy Independence Day, Ghana! Woo-hoo!
Beautiful interview there. But the event is expected to bring together a room full of women focused on growth, influence, and clarity of purpose, with conversations centered on leadership, resilience, and personal transformation. Let's connect with my colleague Lois in London for more on this. Shola, set the scene for us. What is the atmosphere like there ahead of the Women of Valor event?
Thank you, Noella. Thank you so much. Now, we are in London, like you said. It's been a great one. Despite the fact that it's very cold, we're still having an amazing time. One thing I'm excited about, if you ask me to set the scene, it started officially yesterday at the welcome party in Tottenham, where we saw a number of the Women of Valor, or the participants, gather to have like a welcome dinner with our host, Nana Banamwa. Now, she took us through a little bit, like give us a little hint. You know, Nana, if you know her really well, she likes to tease. So she did tease the event a little bit, tell us what we're going to be doing. Also, just encouraging women all around the world to use their voice. You know that the theme for this year is the pursuit of fearlessness, and so that is what we are preaching. Yesterday was also Ghana's 69th birthday, independent. So we took the time to enjoy all of that, and like I said, it was just as we hinting the fact that today is the main event. Is going to be amazing, and by end of night I can tell you for a fact that everyone that made it for the welcome dinner was convinced that today really is the day, and it was going to be an amazing one. We also did see Kate, and then she is one of the big or the main speakers. Also, we had some of those who'll be doing little interactions with us, like Miss Nancy and all of those others at the welcome dinner. So let me tell you that today at Hilton on the lane, on Park Lane, is going to be amazing. A lot of people are trooping in, and it's going to be good today.
How lovely. But speaking of Kate Henshaw, I mean, you spoke with her, and we also know that she's a keynote speaker. Which other individuals are going to be speaking at the event?
Right. Now, our main speaker from Ghana, our homeland, obviously we can't do this without having one of our own on the big stage. We have Nana Mama Brown. She is an actress and a TV presenter, TV host. She's going to be on the main, panel. And also we have Leslie Batchelor. She is the CEO of Export Boots, and she's going to be there as well. And then aside Leslie, because I said it's about women who are telling us their stories, women sharing diverse stories of abuse, not only sexual abuse, but every type of abuse. We also have someone who is in here as well who will be telling us about her own story. She is the survivor of childhood sexual abuse, Deborah Shanley. She's going to be there. So these are the main speakers, four main speakers. And like I said, we have others like Miss Nancy and some other TV personalities who will be there who do the sub panel conversations. But for our main, these are the four people, including Kate, Nana Mama Brown, and two others from London.
I mean, it sounds meaningfully packed and exciting. So you go have fun, and you look lovely, by the way.
It's cold. I hope you guys are not freezing. I wish I could send some of the cold to Ghana.
No, we're not. Yeah. We're not freezing. We're very warm. But you enjoy the cold, yeah?
Right.
Awesome. So that was my colleague Loishola Adeyemi connecting with us live from London. She's attending the Women of Valor event, which I believe is underway. If you weren't there, obviously you missed out. Great time. But let's take a quick breather here. We're back with more right here on JoyNews. You're welcome back. This is Joy Newsroom, and I'm Noella Karanyali. Now, Africa continues to grapple with a heavy cancer burden. In Kenya alone, 5 people are diagnosed with the disease every hour, according to the National Cancer Institute of Kenya. Now, many of these cases are detected late, which limits treatment options and lower survival chances. But a digital health platform known as Empower is helping health authorities track screening data and guide patients from diagnosis to treatment. Roche hosted journalists in Nairobi for this year's Africa Press Day, where JoyNews' editor, Emefa Atiamwa Eli, reports.
2026 Roche Africa Press Day is focusing on what it calls health is wealth, not cost. And that too for women. Breast cancer among women. Here in Kenya, in addition to the call for early screening and diagnosis, health experts are also calling on African governments to prioritize policies that will make access to cancer treatment less burdensome on patients and families. It is said, women are the economic backbone of every country. Ignore the woman's health and the whole community, the whole society, and all of the country suffers.
Late detection of breast and cervical cancer continues to claim the lives of many women, mothers, and young girls across the African continent. In Kenya, data from the National Cancer Institute shows the country records about 44,700 new cases every year. That translates to about 122 diagnoses every day, or roughly 5 new cases every hour. Health officials say the mortality figures are alarming, with nearly 80 cancer-related deaths recorded daily across the country. Emily Dasito of the National Cancer Institute of Kenya explains.
Yes, Nairobi has this huge burden of cancer because of 2 major reasons. We find that previously, cancer care was not really as devolved to other counties. And so even those with suspicious cases in other counties would come to Nairobi for treatment. Yes. This is because we have the largest facilities, that is the level 6 facilities in the country, Kenyatta National Hospital and Kenyatta University Teaching and Research and Referral Hospital. They are both based in Nairobi. And the major private facilities are also in Nairobi that were handling cancer care.
Mbagati County Hospital is among a number of health facilities implementing a digital platform designed to help detect cancer threats among women. During a field visit to the facility on Africa Press Day, journalists, policymakers, and health experts were taken through the operations of the system, where hospital managers described the introduction of the Empower initiative as a major step toward addressing gaps in early cancer detection. The Empower program is a multi-stakeholder collaboration between Roche on one side and the National Cancer Institute of Kenya, county governments, and other health partners on the other side. It integrates cancer screening into existing services, including maternal and child health clinics. Jackie Wambua is the general manager for Roche East Africa.
What is happening is that women are showing up early to the clinics, but the health system is failing them because the breast and cervical cancer is not understood, especially when you talk about the clinics in the communities. The tertiary hospitals and the national hospitals is where treatment is happening. So the first thing would be the preventive aspects. We need to look at the preventive and promotive aspects of the disease. Can women get screening early? Can women get diagnosis early? Can we also have health-seeking behaviors that can change some of these diseases for us?
The Empower initiative was introduced after research revealed that some patients consult as many as 8 to 10 healthcare providers before receiving a cancer diagnosis. These delays often prevent patients from accessing timely treatment. In commemoration of this year's International Women's Day, Roche and its partners are spotlighting the alarming threats cancer poses to women's health, with a call to rethink health as wealth instead of cost and prioritize investments in treatments. My name is Amofa Ewenam Atiamwa Eli, reporting for JoyNews from Nairobi.
And we're wrapping up the bulletin at this point. You should log on to myjoyonline.com for more of our local and international stories. Of course, we've got programs coming your way as well. I'm Noella Karen Yali. Enjoy the rest of our programming.